Hi, this is a reading for Cancer. Dear Cancer, you feel like wishing upon a star at the moment. You've got great hope. Great hope for something to do with a mother and child. Dealing with your own mother. Great hope that your relationship with her would improve or would have been better. You're finding it's mirroring in your own life. The expectations of what motherhood should be. And in Australia, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. The more you're focusing on this, it's affecting your finances. You may be making a career out of this. But at the moment, you feel like your finances are not where they could be. You just like to sit back in the knowing. Maybe your mother and grandmother didn't have access to finances of their own. And you're making sure this doesn't happen to you, whether you're masculine or feminine. So there's great hope sent out at the moment by yourself to make things different. You may be wishing to support your mother, or you're coming into a period of life where you may need to do so, and you're wondering whether you'll be able to pay the bills if you do so. We'll get some advice for you, beautiful Cancer. You wish to bring peace into a relationship. Peace may not have been there since you were quite young. You're very much in your energy though at the moment, that's for sure. Be careful not to get too deep into your feelings. Your mother or mother energy, female energy in your life was doing the best they can at the time. Seeing eye to eye in the past might have been quite a difficult thing to do. You may not have seen each other clearly. I wish she had organised things a bit differently. I wish when I was a child that I had more money, that she had more money, and or she was absent out in the workforce. Communication is you really want to communicate these feelings at the moment, that's for sure. You're pulling your energy back into you to figure out exactly what to say. You just want things to be on an even keel here, to be heard, to be understood, how you truly feel about a situation, to bring balance back into your world. You're willing to give it another try, to communicate your feelings, and you're going about it in a very different way than you were in the past. You are in a period now where you are a lot older and wiser. And as mothers, or that type of energy, there's a lot more options available to women or female energy at the moment than there was in the past. In the not too distant past, women weren't allowed to own property, to vote. Their lot was sealed, as masculine energy as well. You know, women stayed at home and men went out to work. You could be having the trouble of having to balance both these things, and maybe you wish things were a lot easier, a lot more simple. longing for the idea of just being able to stay at home and care for yourself or care for your environment and care for your children and not have to do all of it. You've got great inspiration, that's for sure, and you're extremely strong in your dedication. Extremely strong in your dedication. The communication style that you use could at times be seen as a bit forceful. Having to step into that masculine energy. But there is a balancing coming out because of this. To not just be in your feminine energy all the time, but actually in the feminine and masculine energy gives a more rounded perspective of things. Wishing on things would have been different. It's keeping your energy back there. Keeping your energy in the time when you didn't have as much power as you do now. Wishing on a star at this time could also have you in your fight or flight. At one moment you're feeling okay, at the other moment you just want to get up and run. World travel is indicated. You may not have had the opportunity in the past, but now things have changed as well. It's in the past we would stay in one place. Most humans would stay in one place. The ability to travel the globe wasn't open to a lot of people. The ability to be able to make life choices wasn't necessarily open to a lot of people. But with these opportunities rising, there are a lot of decisions to be made. And you have to be in your masculine as well as your feminine. You want to move on from all the emotions that it's bringing up. Particularly emotions of having lost and being without. That mother energy or the mothering that you give yourself might be very much lacking, and you don't want to have to keep on going through this. You don't want to have to keep on going through feeling like there isn't enough energy for yourself and or others. You're feeling very stretched. You're looking for the backup. But you're realizing that in this life, each of us need to make our own decisions, not repeat the problems or the issues of the past, nor can you stay back there. You do need to move on. It's a very difficult decision to move on from this energy, the pain, the suffering of the past, but you know you need to do so. The worry I think you have is one moment I'll be, talking, dealing with things, trying to cope. Next moment I can't cope, I shut down, I just can't do it, I'm out of here. The fight or flight. You've been asked very much to pull back into yourself, to bring peace to your own heart. A reset is what's been asked. Your ancestors are here behind you, cheering you on, I hear. Do it for us, I hear. Yes, as I said, people had very limited choices in the past compared to what we do these days. But we can't do everything, nor be everything for everyone. But we can make choices to better our world. That's for sure. It is time to let go. It is safe to let go of worry and hurt, to rise above it all, to realize the past is the past. The past is history, the future is a mystery, and we're in the present. That's why it's the gift. Particularly when it comes to the way that ancestors had to relate to each other. I hear you just, if only it had worked out the way I wished it had. Well, we can't stay there. And you're realizing that. To move on from the loss is to let go. But I hear, dear Cancer, you saying to yourself, if I move on from this, will I forget about it all? Won't I be able to keep the memory alive? And if the memory's not alive, what was it for? Yes, keep the memory alive, but don't live in that memory. Don't repeat it all the time. Don't bring the troubles of the past into the present. Advice for Cancer. To remember times of loss over and over and over again keeps your heart broken, breaking your own heart. Advice. And your heart is so precious, Cancer. It's time to cut out the feelings of lack, the feelings of loss. To unburden your dear heart at this time. To realise that those times were all lessons. They had their time. They had their space. And now it's a new day. It is an emotional thing to do for you, very much. And it's not, by doing this, you're not dishonouring the things that have happened. You're honouring yourself now. To show up better for yourself now. The calendar holidays can bring up a lot. Times like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, birthdays, all these things. They can bring up deep emotions. But it's time to look forward now. Any more advice, please? Dear beautiful Cancer. The enlightened feminine. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. You're pulling on this ornate knowing. To sit in your feminine side, which I think has been your operating system, has also brought a lot of pain, heartache, remembrance of times that things just happened that seemed out of your control. Maybe you feel like to go out and strive and be and show up in the world is one way of balancing it. But it's also knowing that the feminine energy is equally as strong as the masculine energy. My gut instinct. So you could be having digestive problems, particularly around times that bring back a lot of memories. Be gentle on yourself. Advice. And the only constant in life is change. As I said earlier, your mother could be getting to a point, or female energy is coming to a point where it's getting older in need of care itself, instead of being the carer. But women, when they get older, get past that period of childbearing, have so much to offer. But in this modern world, as women get older, they are considered of less worth. Whereas in ancient traditions, older women were held in great regard. It's a time to rebirth your consciousness. You could have a lot of bats around you. To change the way you perceive aging, to change the way you perceive your own mother or the way you were mothered. As I said, knowing that she came from what she had at the time, societal, as well as her own upbringing. Women's roles are changing so rapidly now. Now is the time, just to lighten it up, it's the cone of power. But I always see this as, I don't know, you used to watch Get Smart, and it was like the cone of silence, just to lighten it a bit. I used to love that show. So remembering those times and what it was like with your mother at those times, what her role was, is really important. But to also balance how you go out and show up in the world. How you do have the ability now to go out and achieve and do exactly what you want to do. I see this, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, the Mother of Dragons. Whereas that character in Game of Thrones was very feminine, but also had the balance of a very outward leadership role. At the beginning, she was in a very feminine, receptive state, and she had to learn a lot through those lessons to be the ownership of something or someone. All I can see is that scene where she's sort of dragged along with her hands bound behind a horse. And at the end, she was the one leading armies. So you've got the choice now. Do you call on that driven masculine side to get yourself out of this? To move towards finances at all costs? Or do you balance the masculine and feminine side out in yourself now? To move into a time where you hold the wisdom, hold the enlightenment, to follow your gut instincts, to go out and show up in the world. Dear Cancer, you need to bring peace to the world by balancing yourself out, and you are doing so this month. Any more advice for beautiful Cancer, please? Oh, I hear these cards. Thank you. I release all blame and turn within to seek the truth. I affirm that I am willing to release the causes and patterns in my consciousness that are creating any negative conditions in my life. Patterns learned in childhood while watching the way that our parents raised us, patterns in your own life of choosing to celebrate the good, of celebrating the lessons, learning, and choosing to move into the future. Not forgetting everything, but choosing to move on for you, for the greater good, for all of us. You are showing it to us how it's done this month, Cancer. It is okay. You are loved. I really hope that helped. I love you all, and bye for now.